In the last 3 years, I would definitely, well, I don't know what you'd call those things. Where you read between the lines kind of thing or whatnot, but where the open, problem or wound where everyone goes, hey, I'm so sorry to hear about this, or wow, you got a bad break, bro, let me help you out. That, for me, tended to simply be the surface and maybe not even the biggest issue, to be honest with you, because the other ones get pushed to the forefront or pushed aside. That has happened to me in the last few years. Now, no one would know that. And I'm not in a position that people really believe me, care, or give a fuck about the other problems that I've had. One of them clearly is my mom passing away, and people always bring that up to me and give me a consoling, hey man, I'm sorry to hear about that. And it's so unfortunate to me. And I've told one other person, like, some of the things that went on, that if they really knew what was going on, that I'm almost like, wait, you're asking about my mom, what about me? And my mom's death was extremely, extremely painful for her, like extremely bad. Like, it was very bad, even for dementia, and it was in our house. And I tell people, my mom had some wishes that she gave me years ago. Remember, I was there with her when my older brother died of AIDS. And this was a very similar thing, to see my mom go through that. I've seen a lot of people die, guys. And my mom had some wishes, and I did my best to respect those. And then at the end, I couldn't respect those because no one believed me. No, it wasn't necessarily because I was on drugs. And you gotta remember, I'm not supposed to be alive, literally. And that's not my opinion. I'm giving you, I go to meetings and they don't believe me because, think of that. I go to drug meetings and they don't believe me because they say it's medically impossible for that to be the case. And yet I'm on Oprah for it because I had medical proof of it. So the experience is tough enough. Then you have people telling you you're lying about it. So it's kind of a nightmare. But with that said, I was going to say that also, looking back at that now, I said to myself, you know what? The problem was that, it's years of nightmares. No one can talk about opiates like that. Nobody. And that many opiates? And then I'm just kind of stuff going on. And I remember being in Aptos and thinking to myself, this is sobriety? This is hell. Now, that's happened to me again and again, right after someone has sort of pushed me into, hey, get clean, man. Get clean. Just totally get. When I do things, I don't do them half-assed. So I'm not going to go like, yeah, I'm going to get sober for a week. I don't do that. I don't relapse. I go in 100% or not. Every time I've done that, something severely bad has happened to me that is seemingly connected. Now, everyone wants to say you're on drugs. I go, well, check my drug history. In the last, I've been to the emergency room, and not for made-up stuff to get Vicodin. I'm talking about I almost lost my legs in 2010 after being poisoned. When I said that to the doctors when I first was poisoned, they put me in 72-hour hold and drugged me because they said I was crazy. And then 6 months later, it turns out, he was telling the truth, and now I'm going to lose both my legs because no one believed me in the first place. That is the type of shit I deal with all the time. Oh, whoops, we made a mistake. Now, I've been in the hospital so many times and never tested positive for drugs. Yet people say, you're on drugs, but I've never tested positive for them, and I'm in the hospital all the time for things that I couldn't have made up. He couldn't have just said, I'm going to go into the ER. Like, I was admitted in given surgeries and, almost lost my legs and my pancreatitis, feeding through it. I woke up in surgery once, guys. That's a $1 million lawsuit. I never pressed any charges. Now, people would say, well, then you got lucky. I got lucky that I happened to not be using drugs when when these things happened to me? What are the odds of that? Or could it be, well, yeah, you getting clean and sober, somehow or another tried to kill you? Well, I don't know. But if torture and trying to kill you is reinforcing strength, let alone, I get burned by the people who said, hey, get clean, I remember one person told me that. And I got clean and I didn't understand why I got clean. I was like, hey, can you tell me why I'm getting clean? And I said, I got a vent. I'm going to get really upset. It's a true story. It's like a year after being clean and sober for this person. And I go, I'm going to vent because she didn't like me yelling a lot. And I told her, you go into another room, I'm about to yell. And instead she put me on speakerphone for everyone to hear and then use it against me. Right at that moment. And I hadn't done anything in a year. I was like, wait, I'm just about to burn my soul to you. And you just put me on speakerphone for everyone? And then she held it against me. She's like, you're mean, and I'm like, I wasn't even yelling at her. I don't even remember what I was yelling about. She doesn't remember what I was yelling at all for. But she used it against me. And I'm like, I was yelling because I didn't understand why I've been going through living hell for a year. Like, and I've literally physically been going through hell. And 6 months later, I was back in the hospital for a month. Ironically, on this person's birthday. So, I could go on and on and on about things that happened with me that I just don't go on about it. Because you don't talk about being on Oprah because you think you're too cool. Or no one will believe you what your mom told you not to do or to do with her things. And then, someone went ahead and tried to do that to her and no one believed you, so no one would help you out. I keep those things inside and that's all I have left. But I just don't like the fact that I have to give up everything. I give up all the money I had. I give up all this inheritance. I walked away from it. Cool. It's fine. And it got taken from me, like stolen from me. And I didn't even say anything. And when I do even mention it, someone like tries to literally kill me, physically kill me. I've had like 5 attempts on my life in the last 5 years. What are the odds of that, guys? And people are like, yeah, you need to clean your act up. Why? What did I do wrong? I don't know. We just think you're on drugs. Because you said someone was trying to kill you. I know the guy put a gun in my face. We know. My friend got shot in the head when they did this to me last time. Oh, yeah, we know. We don't care. Maybe you brought that on yourself or something. Like, what? You put me in a box. And, what I'm saying? Like, what am I supposed to do at that point? Walk back into the torture room? Because you just think you can wish things away? I think that's bad karma. And I know something about that.